Welcome back, guys and girls, to the part 3 and final part of our free Studio One 4 Masterclass 3-part session. 1-day course, fast and easy. And we're on the third aspect here of, we're going to talk about setting up the mixer window and the mastering window as well. Yes, Studio One can master your songs ready for distribution. So let's jump and cut right into it now. If you remember on the previous video, we talked about tools and all that stuff. So I'm going to talk about the mixer here. So here I have a track here. I'm going to bring in the, I'm going to get rid of this, I'm going to leave the VST instrument there. I'm going to mute this. I'm going to bring in the Lady Ice track here. Let's bring this, bring the volume up here a little bit. And we're going to talk about the mixer here. So I'll go ahead and put my marker here just so we can have some music to kind of loop around here. Remember to check out my previous videos, guys, and be sure to look me up on CourseCraft, link in the description, if you want to learn professional mixing. We're just teaching you the tools how to get acquainted with Studio One.
Hey, it's Lady Ice again. With another one.
And let me check the transpose here and bring this down. So let's talk about the mix window. So here I'm going to go to this button right here, down here that says mix, or I can hit the F3, and that's going to bring up the mixer window here. I already talked about how we can resize the mixer window here. We can pull it down or up and all that stuff. We can go here and we can drag up and down. These are the two tracks, by the way. This is the Lady Ice track, audio track, and this is the MIDI M1 instrument track here. I'm going to turn off the F6 here. Remember, well, we already talked about the automation here. So I'm going to come over to this side here. Here is where you can make the mixer window small or large here by just clicking that button here. We can close it in real tight, you know. So let's say we had a lot of tracks here. We can close that in with this little arrow key here. The inputs here is going to display the inputs, which I'm currently using. As you can see, the faders are going there. I'm using the voice meter there. The output shows it's going to be showing the output. I'm highlighting it here, along with the external. Now we're going to talk about here is where we have the instrument lined up as well. So if I have more, I can add more instruments here. I can add the next. It's going to come in that list, so we have an idea of that stuff, of that information there. If I come here, it's going to open the channel list option here. Here is going to show all the groups. So we have our audio track here. So when you want to add tracks, you can right click on the mixer here and you can go on add bus for a selected channel here. I'm selecting two channels, two tracks here. This is the audio track. Let's say, for example, we want to create an effects here. I don't normally use the effects channel because, you know, it's kind of limited. I use the bus, and I believe that's the more professional way to go. We have VCA channel, we have bus channels here. I'm going to talk about what VCA channels do. So when you want to add, you can use bus channels if you want to create effects. So for example here, I go ahead and add a bus channel here. Here's a bus channel here. I can double click right here. I could call this reverb. And this is very simple and easy to use, guys. I'm going to close this part here. I can call this reverb. And here is the output. It's going to the main over here. This is the main channel right here, the main out. So on this insert here, which remember you can resize the mixer board, make it thinner or tall, you know. I can go to the insert here and I can type in reverb. Let's say let's use the R verb here. Very simple and easy, guys. Just gonna wait until the reverb loads up. Taking a little while. Bear patience with me, guys and girls. And to me, Studio One has one of the easiest mixer window and features to understand. Very simple. You have two windows, edit and the mixer, of course. And so I don't know why my reverb is taking a little while there, but so as I said before, there it is. We have the reverb here, so it's now in this slot here, and we can add, you know, up to as many as we want. We can just, you know, add whatever. And so if you want to adjust the out here, you can also make the output of this track through the reverb. So if I click on that and play Lady Ice song, it's gonna sound like it's in the club. If I take down the mix, probably you want to do something like that if you were doing sound design, but that's not how you use a reverb to mix. I'm going to click back on main there. So let's say I want to send a signal now to that reverb channel here. I'm going to enable back this option here so it comes out a little bit more. I'm going to click on the send here, a little plus sign here. I'm going to go, and there's a reverb there. I can either send to side chains as well. I'm going to send to the reverb. There's a little send. And let's say I wanted to do post or pre-fader. I could turn that on. I'm going to show you the difference here. So we're on the blue here. I'm going to be sending to the reverb. So here we go. So the more you send to reverb, it's got a little bit louder now. But let's go on pre-fader mode here. It turns yellow. And when I send it, the volume doesn't change. Switches back. So let me go ahead. So if I bring the volume down, this is a better example, guys. I'm sorry. If I bring the volume down on pre-fader here on the first one on the blue, you won't hear anything now. If I'm gonna switch it now. You can hear that signal going through there still once we're on pre-fader mode here. So the volume doesn't affect it. Now and I'm gonna leave that on the regular there. So that's how you send, and we can back off a little bit. And I can click on this here. I can click on the little option down here on the little gray spot, and I can color the tracks if I want to. That's how you do the reverb. Now, let's say this plugin had a side chain here. Let's try a compressor here on the same insert here. Here's a compressor here, and there's a side chain option. So I'm going to turn that on there, and I'm going to send to the side chain. So the signal dictates how the compressor is going to react. So there is the list right there. When I go on a side chain, it has the C1 stereo compressor there. So there is it right there, and you can also go pre-fader and post-fader. So I can adjust. Just hold my body, just watch me jam it up, just watch my body. So I can do like a parallel compression thing here. Let me go back here. Let me let this track. With another one. And if you hit solo, you can hear what the compressor is doing here. So it's a nice way to solo whatever effect that you're using here. So we know how to do side chains here. We just turn it on the plugin has side chain and go in the send, and we select the side chain. I'm not going to get in the macro there, which you can do some more stuff with how your effects are routed. But this is the main thing you guys need to learn. So let's go ahead and talk about busing here. So let's say we want to mix bus before we reach the main there. So I'm going to go add bus here. I'm going to say mix bus. I'm going to call this mix bus. And it's already routed to the main here. So I'm going to change the color here to about green. And I'm going to put, let's say, an EQ on it. And I want the track from Lady Ice to be coming out of the mix bus. There's the bus right there. I'm gonna pick this here, and it's gonna control. So everything's gonna come out of the mix bus right here, and also the reverb. I'm gonna set that output to the mix bus. So I can master. I can make adjustments on this mix bus before it hits the main out here. So you can see how we're routing here. Now let's talk about VCAs. The VCA channel here is what will control different bus, and it's a different way to control the volume here. So I'm going to add a VCA channel here. This is VCA 1 here. You know, we can name this anything. We can go down here, right here on this little rectangle here. Let's say we want a VCA to control the mix bus here. I'm going to go in the mix bus section here, and I'm going to click VCA 1. So this VCA now is controlling the mix bus here. And this is a great way to control more than one different. I can control all of these tracks through one VCA right here. Even the reverb track here. Here we go. Just watch my body. And if I want to deactivate that, I can just go on none for those specifics there. You know, so this is a great way to control different buses that are grouped together. And also, if we hold the shift button here, we right click, and we can hit the group option. Or we can highlight all of them here. Here's a little group of them. So suspend all. Let me take this off. Let's get that command up there. Automation here. Is it right click? Oh, okay, group. It's Control G, guys. I'm sorry. Control G for group. Or we can right click and hit group selected tracks. It's gonna Studio One's gonna group, and we can name it here. We can call this music, and Studio One's gonna control all the group. You might say, what's the difference between the VCA? Well, with the VCA, all of it will go down when you go. I'm gonna do the group first. Here's the group here. So whatever I'm changing here, everything is grouped together here. I can't adjust them individually unless I go ahead and deactivate that group there. I can solo each one, and it's still gonna do the same thing. So that's not working in our favor here. So I'm gonna go right click here. I'm gonna go dissolve group here, and as you can see, the one that I dissolve is this one here. So I can move this around. These other three, all of them are now movable here. Now let's say we were doing it in the VCA. I'm gonna put all of them to the VCA here, and so here we go. So I'm going to set all this to the VCA here. Here's the VCA. Now it's controlling these tracks, and check this out. I can go in this one and adjust this there, adjust that there, go there, and I can use the VCA and control all of them as well. So that's pretty cool, using the VCA a channel there to control buses. And you might want to use that. I'm not going to jump into macro here. This is a little bit more advanced stuff, talking about knobs and, you know, but I don't use that much, you know. I think never, you know. So that's how you route. We understand how to route channel here. So let's recap here. We understand how to create bus. We right click, we go and add bus. Or let's say we wanted to bus all these stuff here to a particular I'm sorry, a particular track. All of these we can right click and say add bus to selected channel. It's gonna bus all these to another bus. Like I'm gonna remove this, like what we did with the mix bus here. It's gonna create an automatic busing to it, or we can add VSA channel to it as well. And we've learned how to add the effects and learn how to do the sends. We learned how to activate the pre and post fader here, which we discussed the difference in between dropping the volume and that stuff. So and we can create as many VCAs as we want. We have the mix bus here. If we want to automate, remember there's a little buttons right here. Here's a read and write that we did earlier in the previous session here. I can go here, I can write, go on latch, and I can move the fader. It's going to automate and all that stuff here. So I think that covers it here. I'm going to show you, let's on the mix bus here. If you look on the top here where you see reverb, and on the buses here, not the tracks, you say mix effects. Studio One 4 comes built in with what you call a console shaper here, which gives you that big desk sound. So let's play a little example here. I'm going to set everything to natural here. Off. On. On. I mean off. On. This is like a console desk here. Here we have the CTC1 here as well. 2. Let's bring it back again. So these represent the consoles. If you want that extra, this is something like Heat for Pro Tools basically, and I use it rarely because I know how to mix stuff well, but it's a great tool to use. So that's what we talked about, guys. We know how to route, we know how to create buses, we know how to create the effects here. And let's jump over now to the project window here. So I'm going to click on project, and I'm going to call it mastering. Okay, hit OK here. And Studio One's going to bring us to the mastering section here. If I go back on start, this is where we talked about earlier. If we click on this create new project, it's going to be the same thing. So I'm going to go back here to a master project here. This is where we can bring in the track for mastering here. So what I can do, I can bring in a track here. Have that set up there. I can bring in another track, the same Lady Ice track here. And this is where you go when you want to do your finished EP or album here. Here's track 1, track 2. If I click on the first one, which is Boom here, I'm gonna play. This is from Lady Ice. Let me get my cursor here. Okay, there it is. Let me hit the play button here.
Yeah. This is a girl, Lady Ice.
So for the first track here, if I do the drop down here, this is where we can talk about. We can name the artist. We can say Lady Ice. We can put in SRC information. We can put songwriter, composer, arranger. This is the graphics work that is going to be printed on the track here. This is me and this girl tearing it up, burning out the car. I'm just messing with you guys. And this is what is going to be imprinted on the MP3 audio. We can put the year, and we can create all that information here. We can put in the name of the album here, and then we can go on track 2. And let me zoom in a little bit here. We can go on track 2. We can here's it's already giving a name, track 2, and we can do the same thing. And we can, let's say, click on track 1 here. I can add my mastering EQ and that stuff to what I want to do, mastering my song. I want to bring up the bass and that stuff. And we have a master insert as well for this one and do a post. I can go on the second one here. Hey, it has no insert. I can use a different plugin on this particular track here when mastering. So I can have the Pug Tech on all night. And I can jump back on track 1 here, which has the SSL strip here. And there you can see the meter here, giving you real time, telling you it's clipping peak RMS. Very healthy tools you can use, even Studio One built-in stuff. The analysts, you know, we can check out the scope to make sure everything's intact. And when we're ready to export the stuff, we can go on digital release, and this window is gonna come up here, and we can do it on the format of WAV, AAF, FLAC, CAF, MP4 audio, MP3. We can select the bitrate 320 if we want to, up to 320, which is deluxe high information here. And the Studio One is going to create a digital release version of these tracks, and we can also go on make DDP image for burning your master, and it can also make an image file as well in WAV. So, and of course, here's the burn audio CD, you know. So all this, and it gives you the duration of the entire album and that stuff. If we want, we can skip right back into song as well, and we can go back into project and bounce between these. We can go right back to start. It's ridiculously easy. You can open more than one project. Right now, it's only one we have, and that's what you can do with the mastering part. It's very simple and easy, guys, and it's beautiful to use, man. And you can do edits as well in here as well. You know, you can trim the audio here. You know, you can shorten it. You know, whatever you want to do. Bring it down, take it up, and you can make your edits and all that stuff. So I'm gonna stop there, guys. I want to thank you for joining me on this free masterclass, just to give you a little bit tour of Studio One and why a lot of people are using this thing, because it's so ridiculously easy. We can do so much with this song here. I mean this software, and get you up to speed. Very simple and easy. We can understand the mixer and how we route stuff and all that stuff. So I want to encourage you guys to keep following my page, share it to your friends and neighbors. Visit my website if you want me to score for you have a trailer, if you're a film producer, you're a game a producer, game designer, you want scores, you can contact me. I can do it for a reasonable price. I won't kill your wallet, I promise. I'll give you top of the line universal stuff. So please support me on Coursecraft as well, which I'm already having 3 courses on reggae, Afrobeat, and dancehall, which people are joining as well, and they're learning a lot how to mix like the pros. So thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you guys on the next